Helicopter, helicopter! So a bunch of people have asked for an AP NEEKO build guide, and yeah, here we are. So for skill order, you start with Q, then E, then W, and max in the same order. Some people like starting W for the auto passive. It's not bad, just preference. Also, I sometimes start W depending on matchup, so for instance, if I get a Talon matchup, I prefer starting W. As for my rune setup, currently this is what I'm running. You can do Predator or Dark Harvest, they both work. Electrocute is the most stable one in lane. Predator is good if you're gonna roam, but Dark Harvest feels kind of weird, I don't like using it that much. Here you can do Cheap Shot or Taste of Blood, they both are really good. I've seen people who run Sudden Impact, but I don't know about that one, I've not tried it. If you're playing mid, Eyeball Collection is the build to use here, but if you're playing support you can do Ghost Bow or Zombie Ward. Zombie Ward is better in high elo because people like to ward more. And then in the end you can run whatever the fuck. If you're trying to snowball, Treasure Hunter is your best friend. If you want to have Zhonya's and Everfrost or whatever on cooldown, you can use Ingenious Hunter. And then if you like roaming, you can do Relentless Hunter or Ultimate Hunter if you like just always having your ult. Personally, I use Ingenious Hunter. And then secondary runes, you can do whatever the fuck. You can do something like this, maybe even this. I don't know, this. This works. This works. Just this works too. I don't know. Just do whatever you like. And finally, you can probably also go Arcane Comet if you're not trying to get close to your enemies. You can do something like this, maybe this. And then for secondaries, you can go, I don't know, Cookies and Cosmic Insight if you like always having your flash up. Maybe go this. Maybe for CDR, you can do something like this. I don't know, just you can do whatever the fuck with your runes, seriously. Okay, so for items. Your first item should always be Rocket Belt, Everfrost, or Nash's Tooth if you're playing mid lane, and then these are the items you would build if you were playing support. As to why and how and when to build whatever. Why you want to build Rocket Belt, you always get a free dash, making your ultimate easier to land. Also, the magic penetration you're going to get from building this item first is going to be pretty nice on NEEKO. Then Everfrost is pretty good if you are kind of behind, or if you feel like you want to peel for yourself or for a teammate. Or if you just want to play Stunbot NEEKO, which is just keeping everyone at bay by stunning them with your ult, your E, and Everfrost. And then Nash's Tooth is pretty good if you want to fill the gap between your cooldowns, and it helps a lot with farming. Also, same thing for support. If you want to hit your ults, you use Rocket Belt. If you want to peel more, you use Everfrost. And you can build Locket if you need some extra protection for your team or yourself. Also, while I was editing, I've noticed that I kind of forgot to mention Shurelya's, which is a great alternative to Rocket Belt, especially on support when you're usually behind with gold. For boots, it depends. If you're the only person that has AP on your team, you want to build Sorks usually. If you're playing Stunbot NEEKO, I'd much rather build Ionian boots so I can just spam my abilities. After finishing Mythic, you can look to build these items. If you're Giga Snowballing, Deathcap is your best friend. You can look to build Horizon Focus if you're playing into a lot of squishies. And you can look to build Shadow Flame if they have a lot of shielding or a lot of health. These two items are good if you like want to fill the gaps between your cooldowns. So for Nashers is the attack speed, so you can just keep autoing them. And then Cosmic Drive just lowers your cooldowns. I don't use it as much, but I think it's good. But if you're not really snowballing, I think the best items to build are pretty much Zhonya's and Morellonomicon, so you can always be useful to your team. Also, Void Staff is pretty good if they build a lot of magic resist. Also, I just need to specify, this is not a build order, this is pretty much just a build guide, so these are the items you want to build whenever you snowball. Well, not all of them, like only one of them, and then you can just build a cheap item so you can stay alive or be useful to your team. Okay, and finally, these are the situational items. Usually I hate building Banshees, it's a shit item, so I would much rather build Abyssal Mask. But if you have no other AP damage on your team, so if you're the only person that does AP, you should pretty much build Banshees. But if you have one on your team, this one is way better because it reduces magic resist on the enemy team and it gives you magic resist yourself. And if on the enemy team they have a champion that has pretty much Giga scaled and they are far ahead, you can use this item to counter them. And if you still need armor after building Zhonya's, you can build Deadman's Plate. This item gives you armor and will give you a lot of move speed as a passive, which is pretty good. And finally, if you just want to build a lot of MR and armor, you can build Gargoyle. It also has a pretty neat active, so that's that. Okay, and finally, thank you guys for watching. I hope this guide helps. If you've enjoyed the video, I guess like, comment, subscribe, whatever the fuck. And if you guys have any question, you can just go ahead and type them in the comments. I'll reply to every single question I get. And yeah, that's it. Peace.